Like any manufacturer, Alfa Romeo has its own noted flaws. For example, in the GTVs, it is not uncommon to see some degree of rust in the sills. This particular car has significant rust in the middle sills. This is not uncommon. It is oftentimes, though, very well hidden under a lot of body filler, so be very aware of what you're looking for if you're considering purchasing. In this case, the inner and middle and outer rockers are all available by aftermarket manufacturers. What is not so common to find, though, however, is the A pillar and B pillar if those areas have been damaged. Oftentimes these parts have to be made in-house, and that can be somewhat an expensive experience. The Alfa Romeo Giulietta is really experiencing a fantastic surge in values lately, but just a few short years ago you could have bought one of these for fairly low money. With that said, because of the overall low value of recent times, the restorations or repairs on these cars were fairly poorly done. So the survivors that are out there tend to have a great deal of damage that's hidden. This car is an excellent example of such a story. Giuliettas are unique in the fact that all the doors, the hoods, and the trunks, no two of them are exactly the same. In fact, all of them are somewhat designated to the chassis that they're built for. So, if you are in the market for a Giulietta, don't assume just because it has the doors sitting off to the side somewhere in the hood and trunk that they're matched to that car. This car is an excellent example of that. The hood wasn't right for this car, had to be modified to fit. The trunk most certainly wasn't right for this car, had to be modified to fit. The doors, the hinge systems are completely destroyed because there's no adjustment in them, had to be fitted exactly. So things like these can really add up to the actual build cost of the car. The floors were compromised. Somebody had put like a body filler and a rubber mastic system over it, just hiding layers and layers of poor repairs. This is when things become complicated in the build process and accountability can't really be set to anybody. By now you probably have a good sense of what it took to put this car back together. You can start to understand why the Giuliettas are worth so much money when you do see them on the market. The properly built cars with all the right appointments on them tend to hold their value quite well. Those that have been restored to the level of this tend to exceed those values. The coachwork of Giulietta Spider or Sprint on the outside in appearance looks simplistic and elegant. But the reality of it is the underpinnings of these vehicles are really rather complex and can be somewhat difficult to repair. That's why it's critical when you're looking for one of these vehicles that you really pay attention to the actual rust or the level of rust in the critical areas, meaning anything associated with the structure of the vehicle. As far as this 69 GTV goes, we're going to come back to this and we're going to do a whole series of videos on this particular car. The person who bought it has the right frame of mind, Certainly knows exactly what he wants. He wants the car to be an honest, excellent example, daily driver. That's the kind of car we really enjoy to build. So we'll keep you informed on how this one's going.